Let's just go boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing in wine country, boys.
Martin Truex Jr. led the most laps here last year. Looks like a repeat, Regan.
Well, Mike, the only cause for concern for this team was the fact that their last practice run did get cut short by that contact that I talked about earlier on in the show. After that got done, they didn't get to make a 10-lap run like they were anticipating on that run. Right now, though, he's all quiet on the radio. He likes the race car.
Well, Cole Pearn, his crew chief, used to race road courses in NASCAR in Canada. And so he's a wheelman with road course experience, and boy, they have had the setup to beat here at least the last couple of years.
Tell you what, all the crew chiefs, I love them all in the garage, but if I had to pick one that I wanted to work with, it'd be that guy right there. Sharp, calm, cool. I like what he does.
Clint Boyer exits. It's going to be a drag race down pit road.
I think Harvick has the inside lane. That's going to be the advantage.
Nah, he pushed him out. Harvick pushed Truex out a little bit.
Guys, if you're one of these drivers that just pitted, you don't want to abuse these tires because you're going to stay out when they end this stage.
Well, I'm really surprised A.J. Allmendinger decided to stay out here. I know they probably need the points. The playoff point would be great for him. Stage points. And
Truex takes that position right back from Kevin Harvick on new tires. They are 12th and 13th.
I think what we saw in the, but this for those guys pitted, the 4 is good on the long run. He really makes up good time over the long haul.
And as you know, DW, that means you're going to give up something, so he must be giving up some of that speed in the early stages of a run.
Yeah, you can see it right here. They came out of the pit side by side, and already the 78 is a gap to 4 just a little bit.
So now that will shuffle the top 10 to end stage 1 down to Casey Kane, who's in position to get the last point right now from Michael McDowell.
Yeah, and Mike, I think it's so important to recognize that a lot of these guys need stage points, and that's why they're staying out. It's an opportunity for them to get some stage points.
Well, nobody told Truex that this stage was about to end. He's on it. He just passed Michael McDowell for 11th. He may get a point here at the end of this stage.
But he's using up his tires. While he does that, I would want to save as much of these tires as possible for when we end this stage and go back green.
I actually like the way his car was, though, Jeff. It was really good up until the last few laps before they pitted. So I think he's okay.
Final lap, stage 1. Allmendinger with a 4-second lead on Keselowski and Johnson. And up at turn 7, one car has come to a halt. That's Cody Ware. But he is off the track in the bus stop or car line. And they'll take him off track at the stage break. So we'll stay green. And for the first time, A.J. Allmendinger is a stage winner.
Now, I think Kevin Harvick carries second gear here, so he's probably third gear on the front straightaway at the start-finish line, and then down to second gear all the way through this section. Oh, no. That sounds terminal.
Sounds like it's not running.
That's on me, guys.
Jamie?
AJ just come on the radio. He said, guys, I blew it up.
You know what's interesting about that? He said, I blew it up.
Means he must have missed a shift?
Probably did.
Well, that's a shame because he is fun to watch. And being stopped on track, no indication of a yellow flag yet as the leaders come around. There's the caution.
Yeah, they got to be a caution. He's sitting up on the racetrack.
First caution flag of the day for an incident. Let's look and listen. We call that the money shift. You're trying to go from second to third, and you get first and set. Denny Hamlin assumes the lead. Chase Elliott 3.5 back. Jimmy Johnson now 5.7. And Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney. That's your top 5.
And remember, that pit road is closed now, so all these drivers, we know exactly what their pit strategy is going to be at the end of this stage.
Apparently they're thinking they want to attack the last stage of this race, the 60-lap stage, a little bit differently. They did these first shorter stages.
Kyle Busch, one of those that pitted before pit road closed. The final stage here, 60 laps after 25 laps in each of the first 2 stages. Jamie?
And Jamie McMurray, we talked about his day. We heard you say the system just kind of shut down. It doesn't look like you guys can fix it today. What led to that, Jamie?
Yeah, so our system Chevy, the oil pump mechanism broke, and when it loses oil pressure, the engine shuts off. But you can turn the ignition off and kind of trick the system to get it back to the pits. And I think they're a little worried now that maybe the engine ran a little too long without oil pressure. So they're going to bore scope the engine. So our day's done. That's pretty frustrating.
Thanks, Jamie.
Kevin Harvick, after making his pit stop, has really slowed down his race pace. He is just cruising around to keep the good in those tires for stage 3.
And it worked for him and for Boyer at the end of that last stage. So I think that's a good strategy.
Little points racing going on here, boys.
8th, 9th, and 10th. Mike Casey Kane, who overcame a speeding penalty on his first pit stop, as did Greg Gaulding. Kane in 11th, 1 spot away from the points.
And McDowell pitted on that last caution. He's got a little bit fresher tires, and you know, for the 34 McDowell, the 37 to Buescher, stage points are huge for these teams.
Yeah, Mike, because we've only had 6 winners. Some people are going to point their way into the playoffs.
Sorry, also Buescher also pitted on that last caution. Both of these cars.
Looking like a strong day for front row up there. Michael McDowell in 8th spot. So we're going to finish off stage 2 with the green and white checkered flag, and it's going to wave over Denny Hamlin, who is looking for his first Sonoma victory.
I think Kyle Larson's just going to have to go as hard as he can.
Through the Geico restart zone to the green flag, around turn 1 and up the hill.
Truex has got his hands full this time. He's got Harvick pulling out front, and you got Boyer trying to get around you. So he's got his hands full of those short Haas cars, and there's a 41 right there with them.
Yeah, look at the brothers battling it out.
Mike, I think that's when you know that this is an amazing team, when they can win anywhere, including a road course. And I'm talking about Stuart Haas.
Now, hang on, guys. Is that Eric Jones in 6th place there?
It is, because he stopped back at lap 47.
What a great recovery.
16 drivers stopped before the end of stage 2 to position themselves up front for the final stage.
Yeah, his car, I mean, we heard wheel hop. He's got a lot of, Eric Jones got a lot of damage to the car, but because of good pit strategy, not in too bad a shape right now.
The only one of the Gibbs Toyotas that did not stop before the end of the stage was Hamlin, the stage winner.
See, Kevin Harvick accelerates pretty nice. Most of that grip gain is, well, you see a little bit even here through some of these higher speed lefts and rights, but you really see it in the braking zones. So right here, if Truex can get through this right-hander at turn 10 nice, which it looks like he's going to do, he'll make this pass right away.
Half here with the run. Half. Looking, he's there by himself.
Smart move on Truex's part to get that done before they got to the traffic.
Yeah, I think so too, Mike. I didn't think that the lap traffic is going to be that big a factor because the 78 is going to get by. He's quick.
Matt DiBenedetto in 18th.
Mike, just another day by DiBenedetto. I think he gets so much out of so little. I think he's just a really, really good driver.
There's Casey Kane just ahead. Michael McDowell is in 19th, DiBenedetto 18th. And there's Matt. He was walking around behind the grandstand earlier today with a microphone and a camera. I asked him, should I be worried? He goes, no, not yet.
He should have his
And we
own
had a little
TV
fun
show.
with him.
Yeah, he should have his own
One-man
show.
TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He's a fun guy. I like him a lot.
California driver also. Now, we were just on board with Martin Truex Jr. as he went into turn 11. I bet he lifted 6-7 car lengths earlier than he has all day long. He is driving, as smooth and as easy as he can right now.
He's coasting. That thing that you see flopping around there, that's right there on the little bit to the right of your screen. That's the windshield wiper. But listen, he backs off the throttle and lets the car coast into the corner. He's not pushing that car hard at all.
Ricky Stenhouse on fresher tires, moving past Casey Kane, and Truex coming up to try and lap them both.
Two more.
Kyle Larson started this race on pole. He's currently running in 15th. A.J. Allmendinger won stage 1. He's in the garage after losing the engine when he missed a shift. Denny Hamlin was our stage 2 winner. Hamlin currently is 12th, 52 seconds back of the lead.
Yeah, just never really recovered from that pit strategy to stay out and win stage 2. Denny, you talked on the radio about having a top 5 car, and I think he may have a top 5 car, but just could never get that track position back.
Kevin Harvick 15 seconds back of Martin Truex Jr.
Right now, your heart's pounding. If you're Martin Truex, your heart's pounding out of your chest, and just let me get back to the start-finish line. Let me see that white flag.
And he doesn't want to see any dust flying from any other cars out there possibly going off course.
I want you guys to use all the skills, all the road racing skills you've got. Stay on the track and don't blow anything up, and let me see the white flag.
Well, the big four are currently in the top 5. Truex, Harvick, Boyer, Kyle Busch.
Boy, gets close to those tires, doesn't he?
Along with Chase Elliott.
Slow 12 up there. White flag this time. White flag. Just bring it back.
And the white flag waves. Let's enjoy the ride.
Back up, Mark. Back off, bud. Back off, man.
That's just great advice. I mean, these two guys are racing for position.
And he has a 13-second lead.
He just needs to let them go. Good call there, Clayton Hughes.
When he last won at Sonoma in June of 2013, it was only his 2nd career win. Rounding turn 11 and headed for home for Barney Visser and Furniture Row Racing. Martin Truex scores his 18th career NASCAR Cup victory.
And our Jamie Little is there for the celebration.
It is quite the party in Victory Lane. It was a smoke show when he drove in here. Martin Truex Jr., you and the 78 team outsmart the competition. So you hear on the radio, pit, don't pit. Did you know all along you guys were going to snooker the competition at that point?
No, it's all Cole. That's all him. That was amazing. I'm cool with whatever he wants to do. I tell him all the time, I'm like, win, lose, or draw, we do it together. And I just got a lot of trust in him. I don't even say anything when he says pit or don't pit. I just I do what he does, what he wants to do. So awesome job by him today.